Now I look like Little Red Riding Hood going to have a picnic with Grandma in the woods. But actually, what we are going to do is go and pick some flowers in my garden. So this is the first time I've done a flower cutting video on my channel. So this is going to be fun. It stopped raining and I've got loads of flowers in the garden to cut for vases inside. So I thought I would quickly talk about the different ways that you can do this. Now, professionals and expert florists will use flower buckets, clean flower buckets, which they will fill with cold water, and they do something called conditioning the flowers, whereby, and I do this sometimes, but I'm not going to do it now. So I will often pick of an evening, so pick them, remove any lower leaves and put them straight in the cold water, and then I leave them in the garage until the morning when I will then arrange them. But right now I want to go and collect some flowers that me and my youngest son are going to arrange straight away. There are many benefits to conditioning flowers, and actually often it gives them the opportunity to have a really good drink and you get much stronger, more upright stems. But for what we want to do is have a bit of fun right now. I'm just going to collect them in my little trug and you'll be able to see what I'm picking. So yes, let's go and have a bit of cutting fun. I also have got a flexi tub, which is my deadheading bucket. I always like to take this around with me as well because I will always find something to deadhead. So I may as well kill two birds with one stone. So I hope you enjoy this. Don't forget to subscribe if you would like to see more of me on my channel, and give me a thumbs up and press the bell so that you're notified of any new videos. Let's go. Okay, so I often will start in my statue garden. So although this is actually like predominantly my perennial border, and it very much is that, I love to grow flowers and I love to cut flowers for my house. So I try my very best to incorporate plenty of flowers in my borders for cutting. So although they are bursting with perennials, I try and make sure that I add in lots of things, I'm about to sneeze, that are suitable for cutting. For example, I can see a gladioli in there. That is not the right colour scheme for this border, but it's beautiful for cutting. So yeah, let's get stuck in and see what we can find for this weekend's flower arrangement. I can see I've got so much of this beautiful Lavatera. I might maybe take a stem of that. I don't actually know if this is cut and come again because I haven't grown it for very long. So I kind of don't want to cut too much. That's got quite a lot of buds on it. Maybe that one at the back might be a good option. I don't use any fancy snips. My snips are always blunt, so I'm just using scissors, but that's really pretty. So that is the first stem to go in. I can see at the back here a couple of gorgeous drumstick alliums, which are just bobbing around by the window, not being seen, not being enjoyed. So they're coming in. This over here is the garingly bright gladioli. Which is just stunningly beautiful, but doesn't go with the colour scheme of this garden at all. But look how pretty that is. Oh, isn't that just gorgeous? Now, because this one's got quite a lot of foliage, I'm actually going to strip this straight off into the bucket. And if I were to condition that in a bucket of water, that's what I would do. You remove the lower leaves before you plunge that in the water. So you remove the lower leaves, give it a fresh cut and put it straight in the water. I could actually remove the leaves of this Lavatera, just saves it going all over the kitchen. I am a little bit the bane of my husband's life when I announce that I'm going to be doing another floral display. I tend to do this once a week in the growing season. I just love it, and my son has really got into flower arranging with me, and I love it. I will do you a flower arranging video and show you the things that we love to use. But I just love that every week we create a different arrangement. That's a bit better. And it's just so fun. It's so fun to be creative with flowers. Let me see what I can find here. Now, I love this huge wafty perennial. This is called Nautia, and actually its seed heads are really beautiful as well. But I have cut this a lot. Oh, I've got a seed head I can show you. Yeah, I regularly cut that, so I can't see that I've got a lot to cut on that one. But look at these seed heads, if you can see that. They're just so pretty. So I just love a stem of that wafting around. So that's really pretty. Just looking to see what else I can see. There's tons more Lavatera. The thing is, I don't want to pick too much. This, oh my god, this Delictrum is mad. That's like well over 6 foot now. Oh, I've got a little bit of scabious here. That's quite nice. It's also getting the balance right of growing enough that I can do this. I love a scabious. Beautiful. Now I can see down here that I've got some lovely larkspur. Which actually, that one looks like that's for the deadheading pile. And you really want to make sure you keep on top of the deadheading, because otherwise the flowers will stop. Like I've got an old layer here. I'm just going to snip that because that is desperate for deadheading. But actually that's quite a pretty stem, and I'm all for adding stems that have gone to seed a bit as well, because that can add a bit of interest, and I like that. I mean, it'd be better if I was actually just on top of the deadheading, but it's been so wet. I just haven't really been out here keeping an eye on it. Deadheading is normally like a summer's evening dreamy job, but it's not been like that. I mean, these daisies are enormous. Shall I maybe cut one of them? I don't really know. I don't really know that it goes with anything else. I mean, I don't really know that I want it in the garden, to be honest. Okay, I think that's... Oh, I really like these. Let me show you this. I have got a Salvia caradonna that started to go to seed, but I just love the shape of that. So that's past its best, but I really like the shape of it. And using a flower frog, these are quite fun stems to sort of add to bulk out your arrangement. So I always think it's not all about the fresh, colourful flowers, and actually there's so much beauty in things which are past their best, in my opinion. And they also last really well in the vase. So this is kind of killing two birds with one stone, because that's now deadheaded and that will get another flourish, and then I've got all these kind of fluffy, unusual stems which will be really fun to do something with. Wow, that's reflowering. Cut that there. That's even quite fun. Look at the shape of that. Kind of see what I mean when you look at things in a different way and don't just see it as a dead flower. You can have a lot of fun. Now I'm going to go to the cutting garden now, because I actually am enjoying all of this being in the garden. There's not much else I really want to cut, because it looks beautiful. I can just see something I need to deadhead quickly though. which is a larkspur. So you want to keep on top of this all the time because keep deadheading and it will keep flowering, and that's what we want. We want flowers all season long. Oh yeah, I can see this salvia also is ready for a deadhead. Oh, I can see a tiny little echinacea in there poking through, which is exciting. I thought I had lost most of my echinacea this year, but perhaps some are popping back. I haven't got my wellies on, and this always makes me feel really anxious when I'm in the garden like this, because there's so many frogs in my border that they jump on my feet all the time, which I know sounds ridiculous, and I love having frogs in the garden, but I don't love them jumping on my feet. Right, so if we have a look at what I've got so far, I mean, it's mostly stuff that's gone past its best, but you see what I mean? That looks amazing altogether. Just spotted, pick up these rose petals, this Nepeta, which is catmint, which is going pretty wild. That's quite pretty, and there's a few stems that are really droopy in the rain, so I'm going to take a few of these because I think, again, these would be pretty cool for a flower frog. I like that. I like that waftiness. So basically, I'm constantly tidying up the garden and using what I can. I can see two things that have gone to seed, so I'm gonna, they're no good for arranging. Right, let's go to the other garden. Right, off we go to the other garden. My England flag's all ready for the final. So I am really lucky that we've zoned our garden, and actually I utilise every bit of this garden. So that is my main cut flower bed, dahlias and cut flowers. But then also I've got plenty for cutting in my container garden. So everything I grow, I kind of utilise every bit of space around where my children play. And that seems to work well. Actually, I might start over here. See what we've got up here. Yeah, so I maximise every single bit of growing space, and things usually have to be okay with footballs because I have a lot of footballs in this garden. I've got 3 boys. But it's amazing what you can grow when you make space. Got some lovely scabious. I repeat a lot of my planting and a lot of the plants. So everything for cutting I grow from seed, which is great. This is beautiful. Calendula, Snow Princess, I love that. I'm gonna come along here because I think I've got quite a few of these. Look how pretty all these look together. The other great thing about flower arranging is if you're a florist, you might have to be growing flowers with really long stem lengths for bouquets and things, but you will see that I love to use a flower frog. I'll show you exactly what you do with a flower frog. But what it means is that you can have really short stems, and it doesn't matter the stem length that you're working with. You can still create incredible floral displays, and that's what I love about growing my own stuff. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect. You just work with what you've got, and when you grow it and it's free, you just have free flowers all the time, all summer long. And even though we've had terrible weather and lots of my flowers are really, really slow, I can always find something to pick, and I love that. Got a new variety of cosmos that I've tried for the first time this year, a variety called apricota. This is really pretty. So pretty. I don't find cosmos have the longest vase life, really. Oh, and these, I haven't cut any of these yet for arranging, but I'm going to cut some now. These are just the cutest. These are called bunny tails. And I grew these especially because I think they look amazing with dahlias. I've just cut one, but I can't see which one it was. Look how cute these are. I think they might have gone to seed a little bit too much. I've never grown them before, so I didn't really know when to pick them, but I think I can just pull the seeds off. But anyway, I love, 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 love them. So let's head over to the dahlia border where I've got a lot of things that I can cut. Starting with these snapdragons. These were all grown in the autumn, grown from seed, started in the autumn. I just love them, and you can cut them and then more will grow. You'll get new stems, so they're great. They're just really pretty. The bees absolutely love these. You can see a bee, why a bee goes inside them. See if we can spot him going in another one. Oh no, he's gone over the back to that larkspur. One of my absolute favourites to grow from seed, that larkspur. Can you see how electric the colour is? It's like electric blue. And what you'll also see, maybe not here, is a stem that's gone to seed. So you can see here the seed pods. We don't want it to go to seed, so I'm cutting that off because I want the plant to keep producing stems. I absolutely don't want it to go to seed. I'm just chucking it over the back because I didn't bring my bucket. This is a beautiful one as well, corn cockle. Absolutely love that. That's a new thing to me. I have never grown them before, but I'm loving them. I think let's cut a stem of this gorgeous larkspur. Doesn't need to be tall. Just look at that colour. This is the giant imperial mix, and I start sowing this in September, and I do a monthly sowing all through the winter till Feb. Looks like it's got little faces. So beautiful. And I'm going to closely look here. So that stem is really past its best, but I'm going to add that in my trog anyway. That's so beautiful. This scabious black knight is just coming. Oh, I can see some stems going to seed, so I'm just snipping those. Now with regular deadheading, larkspur will flower for months and months, but you do have to keep on top of the deadheading and feeding. Oh god, there's a stem that's definitely gone to seed. Honestly, you blink and you miss it, especially with all the wind and rain we've had. All the petals get bashed off, and if you're not out here, you're not noticing it. Like all the petals on that have gone. So you really, really want to be as quick as you can. And I do tend to come and cut once a week for flower arranging, and I deadhead at the same time. So yeah, corn cockles, they need deadheading too. Basically everything needs deadheading. Right, I'm seeing if there's any snaps. Some of these have gone a little bit droopy, but again, when you're using a flower frog, sometimes unusual shapes work quite well. Now to cut something really beautiful, and actually I've left it too late because I've been enjoying it in the garden, but this is my first dahlia from the dahlia border this year. This variety is called Miss Sophie. I bought it because Sophie's my name. I had to buy it. And I've just been loving watching it glowing in the sun every day. So that won't have a very good vase life, but it's very beautiful. There's another one there as well. So I'm going to pick a few more stems of snapdragon because there seems to be a real big kind of cluster of them here. If you're thinking of growing snapdragons for next year, definitely autumn sow them. I'm going to be doing my free autumn grow along again for anyone that wants to join in. I'll share details of that nearer the time. And yeah, everyone just loves a grow along and learning how to grow flowers. So if you fancy that, then I will let you know nearer the time because I think you'll love it. Now my trug is getting pretty full of all different colours. It's a colour mashup over here, but I don't care about that. I'm just here for the flowers. I do not mind what colour they are. Right, I can see that some of these larkspur probably are getting close to the end, but I can't resist the colour. Let's go for that. 100% these are my favourite annual to grow. So they're from the Delphinium family, so you might think they look familiar, but they are just the annual version, and I love them so much more than the annual. I just think they're more beautiful. Right, oh, that's a really beautiful one. I think I'm going to have that. I love a nice tall stem for an arrangement. What have we got going on back here? Can't see anything that needs deadheading. Oh, now we've got some beautiful dahlias here. I might have to bring you a bit closer. Now this is a new variety that I've not grown before. Over here I've got another pretty leery gladioli. This colour I had last year, so it's just come back. Doesn't really go with anything, but it's very pretty. So that can come in the colour mashup. Let's cut a few more stems of this. I'm going to have so many. I'm going to be able to cut, like, do loads of arrangements. So that I've got some very droopy buds on this dahlia. Not ever seen that before. They're all like nodding downwards. I don't know if that's been damaged or what the problem is there. All good. Another larkspur that's gone to seed. Oh, this one's so beautiful. Look at that. Love. So there we go. So there you have it. One very full trug of flowers, a right old mix of colours, mix of how fresh they are. Oh, I thought that bee was going to land then. And I do this every single week. It's usually my favourite thing to do on a Friday after work. I love to come and cut them, but it was raining this Friday, so I didn't do it. But I just love this. And like I said, if you're not going to be arranging them straight away or you want the best for your flowers, then always add them to cold water and condition them. So strip those lower leaves and leave them in water overnight. But I'm going to put these straight into some water right now.